Hi everyone, in this video I'd like to introduce this open source software, drawing software, GIMP 2.8. I've been using this pen tablet and it comes with this sketchbook auto desk, whatever it's called, but it does not open more than one file at the same time. So I looked for an open source and it seems like a great substitute for that program. It does everything pretty much what Sketchbook Express does, and no commercial, and it works great, but it has little disadvantages, so I'm going to go over briefly what it can do. So the website here, it reads www.gimp.org. First let me explain how the file works. This is a GIMP file, and this is not an pixel file. This has an extension name XCF. It has multiple layers, so I'm going to show you how the layer works. We're going to go to the window and dockable dialogues and layers. Then it shows all the layers. You can create layers and so on. So background is this black background. I'm actually writing on this content part, as it shows it as a transparent background. So when you delete in this content layer, it only deletes the content and it's not deleting the background. So when we edit while we are writing lectures, and as if we're doing this on the blackboard, and this is the two layers you want to have. Of course, you can create multiple layers, and sometimes that's what you want to do. And you can hide those one of the layers by clicking on that, and you can hide the background. You can only see the content with a transparent background. So this time I'm going to open a new file and create these two layers and write very simple stuff. So you go to File and create a new GIMP document. So you choose the sides and the pixel and their advanced option, but this will be sufficient, and hit OK. Then it creates this blank file. It's the same size as the file that we just saw. Then you go to this Windows and Layer and get the layer file. So right now it only has one layer, so we're going to create a new layer. So the same size. Notice that here's a transparency background and create it here. So you can just select it and use these arrows and change the order of these different layers. I'm going to go back to the background layer, and using this tool palette toolbox here, and paint the entire background in black. So here's the paint bucket, and here's a color tool. There's foreground and background of each layer. Choose that, and you can select the color here. So I choose a black, or you can use all the tools to use a different color scheme. And here is a black, and I choose it here. And you can see the paint icon there. If you click on that, it's going to change the entire background to the black. And make sure you switch back to the layer. So whatever you do in here is not going to affect this background layer down there. So I switched to the foreground layer, which is transparent background. So here is a pen brush. So this is the tool I use to write down something here. If you double click, it shows the option. So it loaded whatever I preset it before. You can go to the preference and change the setting to save all the options when exiting the program. So it's size 6 and smooth stroke. That is probably something that you want to change the stroke to smooth. That looks better, and size is 6. So I'm going to write down some of my favorite mathematical theorems, but here it's set to black, so I'm going to go and change to white and hit OK. So it's the Pythagorean Theorem, a squared plus b squared, it's c squared. And if you want to draw a triangle, and you can change the color, go to that part and change the color to whatever you can store the color here. This is one of the things that you can't do with the free version of the Autodesk, and you can select the color and draw the triangle nicely here. and put A and B and C, and here it is, our Pythagorean Theorem. And I can choose a different color. Since right, I hope I'm gonna spell this one correctly. Pythagorean Theorem, like that. All right. So I switch the color to white here, and I'm going to write down something else, like fundamental theorem of calculus. Fundamental theorem of calculus. So this is how it's going to... So you need to practice to write well like this with this pen tool, pen tablet. But here's the statement. So I change the color to cyan or blue, something like that. So ft dt is equal to difference of values of this antiderivatives of little f integrand function there. Okay. Next tool I'd like to introduce is the eraser. You can erase it, but it's the same size as the pencil. So if it is small, you can only do it small. So it's not the best way to erase it. Best way to erase it actually using the selection tool, and you go ahead and select this one. If you want to decide to erase this part, and you go ahead and select it. And another good part of this one that the Autodesk doesn't have is that after you select it, you can change the sides like that. So sometimes it's difficult to create the right size of a rectangle, but you can always modify it. And you can just hit the delete key, and it's going to delete whatever is inside it here. Again, if there's one layer, it's going to show you the transparent background, but it is only working on this top layer, so it's not hurting the background layer. You must tap somewhere here to exit this mode before you go back to this pen mode and write it again, whatever you just deleted it. So that this is the best way to delete it. Some parts are not the triangular, rectangular, so you can go and use this nice tool that's also selection tool, but you can only select the parts of the region that is not so rectangular. For example, like this part in here, I can select just this B part, and it's selected, and hit the delete key, and you have to change the rectangular mode and hit it, and then it exits the mode, and go back to the pen tool here and write this B back again. So that's how you write and how you edit. It's a basic function that you want to do all the time.